According to my channel stats, most of you should be old enough to remember, or have at least seen, the absolutely hilarious and mad Tim Burton movie that is Mars Attacks. Well, that same level of crazy and madness, of comedy and artistic style, is all being injected into a video game for us all to enjoy. Good day to you, my friends. I am Kenator, and this is my early access review of Mars Attacks. Big thanks to the devs for sending over this key for review. That's right, this time it's not war. No one is being attacked. This time it's all love, love, love. Only kidding. But this does show the level and sense of humour the devs are going for when they decided to stick this funny minigame Easter egg surprise based purely off people mistaking the name for something else entirely. And it just fits so well. The true Mars Attacks, of course, is a game about building a theme park full of the very best human-orientated attractions. Think half theme park, half theme zoo. And just like a real park, you will have to balance the books while completing your objectives through selling food and drink, merch and maps, entry tickets and ride tickets. But the real draw, the drive that brings all the Martians your way, will be the live human pens, freshly plucked from not just various areas around the Earth, but seemingly different time zones too, with Vikings and Egyptians to Wild West Americans and ancient Greeks. And what a poor sorry state these souls will have to live in on their arrival to Mars, with their food and drink, rest and relaxation needs barely covered by the sterile animalistic facilities developed by the Martians. And if left like this, you can be sure the humans will do their very best to rise up and revolt against their captors. As park manager, you will have to study them, research their limits, and find out what makes each group tick. The viewing windows around your pens will fill up with Martians eager to see the humans being experimented on. Meanwhile, you'll be sending your flying saucers not just to bring more people, but items from around the world to bring some home comforts to the humans. And there is such a huge variety of items to find here, from different replacements for feeding and bathing your humans, to games for them to play and decorations as small as a bush, to as big as one of the Grand Pyramids. What the devs have crafted here is not just a reskinned theme park game. A lot of care and effort has gone into getting not just the visual style and tone correct, but the gameplay around being a Martian society and dealing with us humans. And it's this strength that will serve them well for those that have enjoyed the movies or even the original trading cards that this all originated from. I think they absolutely nailed it. And that's what really attracted me to this game in the first place. It's fresh and exciting, but also nostalgic at the same time. But, and yes, there's nearly always a but, with all the effort being put in, its small dev team has stretched itself a little too thin for all the other areas. And this will make or break your own personal enjoyment of the game. For starters, while yes, it's early access, and you guys like to remind me of this when I review them, it is a non-complete game. And everyone accepts different levels of polish and completeness. For Mars Attacks, its incomplete nature shows up in nearly every area. One of the 3 research trees, coming soon. The park marketing system, coming soon. Changing or even viewing your controls, coming soon. Workshop upgrades, coming soon. This random window in the park management screen, coming soon. It's good to know that things are in the work, and that these placeholders can let you as a player know. But it doesn't help when the things that are missing are needed for a mission at hand, or when you're trying to figure out how parts of the game work. For example, if you want to raise the amount of Martians visiting your park to a certain level for an objective. Anyone who has played this type of game before would automatically think to run some sort of promotion, aka marketing, but it's not in the game yet. All you have is the park rating page to go by. But nearly everything in this game has no indicator on how much it will move a needle in regards to the different rating areas, like in this case. Which of these ratings affects the rate of visitors coming to your park? There's just no way to know for certain. Similarly, when you're looking at guest happiness, I love that you have this breakdown between your average guests and the guests drawn to a specific type of human. But the happy meters can leave a lot to be desired. How does habitat or culture work? For example, Is it Martian culture? Human culture? Is it the amount of objects I've picked up from Earth or the Martian decorations? You're simply not told, and there's no way to easily figure this out. Obviously, things like hunger and thirst are pretty straightforward and self-explanatory, and some items do have stats on them letting you compare and find the best one, but some, mostly the decorative non-interactables, have none. Now while you can check the overlays for changes after you've placed them, you unfortunately can't have the overlay open during placement to see these changes live, if there are any, while you choose where to place the item. Rides are also missing. I know a lot of the game is centered around the humans, and I love that, but there are so few rides in this game, with also no real reason to build more than one of each too. Even later on, when an optional mission system is opened up that more rides are locked behind, you don't know how many. There's no encyclopedia of rides or unlocks. The closest I found was the different tiers in the workshop, but there's only one of each shown there. That, and one of sadly many bugs I encountered in this pre-release version, was that the rides from these missions also don't appear anywhere. I couldn't build them after being given them. At least I assume this one was a bug. They didn't appear in the research tree, they didn't appear in the build menu, and they didn't appear in the workshop. Which brings me to the other main sticking point for this release. It has been quite buggy. From brand new empty levels loading up with escaped humans already in them, to crashes, to Martians not even queuing for a ride and just jumping straight on a moving one. There have been many more that I've seen, and I don't want to just sit here listing them all. But to the devs' credit, I have also seen many fixed. The problem here is if it's already happened so much already, what's going to stop this from constantly ruining gameplay throughout its early access, with constantly new bugs as they add more to the release. So I think much more attention to polish is going to be needed. The game does have good bones though. From the perk system for the various staff having different effects and making you place them strategically to maximise their benefits, the research by torturing and cruel experiments, and each time you do, also entertaining the masses, while simultaneously building your knowledge, which allows larger and larger abduction missions, and having to balance all that around not breaking them mentally and causing them to try to escape. Watching a rampant human escapee ruthlessly curb stamp unarmed Martians is hilarious. And the fact that some of these rides and stalls from the workshop are literally made up from chopped up spare humans is both gruesome, yet perfectly helps you deal with the overflow of people you pick up when farming decorations at higher levels, or just giving you a way to get rid of humans with unwanted traits. The overlay system is extensive and gives you a lot of live info on various aspects from power to profit. So there is good stuff here, but until it does get some real meat on these bones, personally, I'm not going to recommend this game, but I will say it's worth keeping an eye on. It's not a bad game, nor is it a good one. It's just very middle of the road, incomplete, and in my opinion, maybe launched a little too early. But I think it definitely will get there with a lot more player input now it's released. So if you do want to support the game and the dev team by getting it early, I think the game will be all the better for it. But it certainly won't be for everybody. Going forwards, I would love to see a lot more in terms of park decorations of various sizes and way more rides, both standard and unlockable. And if they give these the variety even a single enclosure can have in terms of decoration, it will be awesome. But polish and bug fixes absolutely do need to come first though. Now if you enjoyed this review, please do subscribe for more sci-fi and space gaming content and reviews. Give the like button a little tickle. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Kenator, out.